for me, it just became the love of it. Like, I never cared for the tips. I've never cared for the money.
Police officer arrived quickly and rescued the resident trapped inside the burning apartment. Firefighters contained the blaze, ensuring no injuries or damage to surrounding units. The rescued resident was transported first to Owensboro Health and later to a specialized burn center in Louisville, but passed away later Friday. The Owensboro Fire Marshal's office is actively investigating the cause of the fire. A manhunt in Clay led to additional charges for 49-year-old Jason Ashby after he fled from Webster County deputies and a Providence police officer on Friday. According to media partner 14 News, police arrived at Ashby's 2nd Street residence to serve a parole violation warrant when Ashby bolted, escaping through backyards. A canine unit helped track him down near West Elm Street, but he attempted to flee again before deputies managed to detain him. Ashby now faces 2 counts of evading police and resisting arrest. Governor Mike Braun of Indiana is still taking a wait-and-see approach on whether the state will redraw U.S. House districts for the 2026 election. Braun wants to hear from majority Republicans in the General Assembly and says his position has not changed. Find the latest at OwensboroRadio.com. I'm Rob Nichols reporting.
Looking to lead in business, boost your career, or start something new? The MBA from Kentucky Wesleyan College is designed for working professionals with flexible options both online and on campus. With our reputation for academic excellence, the Wesleyan MBA delivers professionalized attention, real-world skills, and values that set leaders apart. Apply now at kwc.edu/MBA and take your next step with confidence.
Hi, this is Travis Holtry from Foreman Watson Holtry. You know, we will not allow anyone to deter us from what we are committed to. And we're committed to standing up for people and businesses who find themselves needing a voice because of legal issues. Our attorneys have the resolve it takes to stand up when tested without flinching in the face of adversity. We are Foreman Watson Holtry, and we're dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Tonight, partly cloudy, a low 63. Tuesday, mostly sunny. A chance of a shower or thunderstorm, high of 81. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. A chance of showers, maybe thunderstorm, a low 61. Mostly sunny Wednesday, a high of 84. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, a low 62. Thursday, partly sunny, 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, high of 74.
From the Floor Concept Studios, ESPN Radio, all sports, all the time. Kentuckiana sports leader, 102.7 WLME, Lewisport, 102.7 WK.
Yes, sir, it's Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Lineman 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
We're on the air.
102.10.
Yeah, it's early today, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it's Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Lineman 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up, and welcome to Legal.com. Stephen A. Turner here, getting 2 intros in because it's Labor Day, right? I guess
there you go. If we got to work, we might as well make it good.
Might as well get 2 intros in. That's Coach Vic Evans there, and we'll have a little fastest hour in football. Not quite complete yet. I mean, you say fastest hour. We only got high school and college. Now we'll roll into NFL week. Next Monday will actually be the first true fastest hour in football when we'll add the NFL results in as well. But there's plenty of high school discussion to talk about today, and then big college football kickoff weekend. Plenty of apologies to dish out in the accountability sessions today as we look back on our picks. I still haven't added those up quite yet to see who the expert.
No, I've got to do that tonight with the. It's been such a busy Labor Day weekend. I've not gone and got the pick'ems winners yet. Mine was not good. All the things that we said on Thursday's show, where I made fun of Miami and I made fun of Florida State and everybody else. I mean, who knows? It's just really bad. But the great thing,
I'm going to forbid you from ever saying Notre Dame's going to win by 17. I think is what you said. I mean, That's forbidden. I mean, I don't care if they're playing, Boston College, right? It doesn't matter who it is.
The only problem I have with Notre Dame, we'll get to it, is I'm more upset about Denbrock than I am anything else. Like, turn people loose.
Yeah. Well,
you got the best running back in the country, and he touched the ball 3 times in the first 3 quarters of the game.
Turnovers hurt them. It just didn't go their way, man. But no, there's a lot of accountability on the show today. But download that Owensboro Radio app. You can listen anywhere in the world. Follow along 102.7 The Game out there on social media. If you're on Facebook, we're on Facebook Live.
We're now on Facebook Live and YouTube. So there you go. We got YouTube up there now and Facebook Live. So check it out.
Courtesy of Legendary Pool and Spa. Give them a call, 270-316-1007. Be sure and subscribe and like on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcast. You can text us here on Labor Day, 270-903-0389 on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union text line. It's going to be a jam-packed football week. We'll have the rundowns today. Tomorrow will be Top 10 Tuesday with Player of the Weeks. We'll hopefully get Tyrone in on Wednesday to go along with Cole Birch.
Got Cole Birch talk about his new book that he has published. How about superstar Cole Birch being a writer?
Got to talk to him a little in the press box out there at Davis County on Friday night, and just a great young man and a great interview. We'll have that for you on Wednesday, and like I say, hopefully we can get Wesleyan Wednesday. Tyrone, his kickoff for the Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers is Saturday.
Saturday at noon, WBIO. You and I'll be there. West Florida comes in 1-0, and they're a top 25 team. So we're gonna.
Yeah, and I saw some buzz out there on social media about them maybe positioning themselves for a Division I jump. So
look out! There you go.
So that's the level of program that's coming into Owensboro.
Well, here's what's crazy is they send like their travel rosters, and I've got these things and I'm printing them out. They have an entire roster for offense and then the same numbers for defense and special teams. So when you got so many guys and everybody's a double number, it's a lot of guys.
It is. That's a big time program. It'd be a great challenge for the young Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers, and we'll be highlighting that through the week. And then on Thursday, it's got to be NFL Prediction Thursday, right? I mean, it's kickoff. Eagles and Cowboys kick off the season on Thursday night, and so we'll give you our NFL predictions along with an LA 5 on Thursday.
And you can hear that Thursday game right here on 102.7 The Game. And then we've got 3 big games on Sunday. We got the noon game, the 3:30 game, and Sunday Night Football. So it's going full bore, man, along with all the stuff we got on Saturday where you got IU, Louisville, Kentucky, and Wesleyan and Western.
You kind of slowly edge into, you get a couple weeks of high school in, then college starts to bleed in, and then now, this week is full-blown, all 3 phases going for all systems go. And on Friday night, we'll be at Tailgate Show, courtesy of L&I Insurance Solutions. Looking forward to another tailgate. It's crazy. We're already heading into week 3. We just started the season.
It flies by so
week
fast.
3.
And what's crazy, not only will we be at Davis County, Owensboro, but then, of course, you and I will, listen, the Apollo Catholic game, if you like it, you can get Steve and Chris and Nick on the Calico call. Or Briggins and I will have the LME call. We're going to be at the same game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be in the same booth. Looking very forward to it. Should be a pretty good ball game, and we'll see how that goes on Friday. Plenty of time to break that match up.
And I want to give a big shout out to Mark Blakenbaker for coming over Friday to Heritage Hills in the Jungle and calling that game with us. It's always fun. It's like he was talking about. We were talking about. It's like 4 of the last 5 years he's called a game with us here on 102.7 or on VJS. A lot of them have been Owensboro games. So it's always great when you get to call a game with him. And him and Briggins rocked it.
Yeah, and Blankenbaker putting out there, some Jet Goldsberry steam, right?
Yeah.
Telling Lane Kiffin, you better think twice if you're going to say this kid's not a quarterback,
well,
right?
I mean, all you did was go 9 for 10 for 231 and 5 touchdowns, and then also run for 85 yards and a couple touchdowns, and probably cemented himself as the heavy front runner for the ESPN Owensboro Offensive Player of the Year.
Yes, I would be shocked if he wasn't. But man, Friday was it was chaotic. I mean, it was crazy. We had the 6-7 different folks joining the tailgate show, and you sent me a message after we left. Elite Auto Glass came on for the tailgate show on Friday. Big shout out to those guys for bringing us out to Rash Stadium. Big time Elite Car Show coming up October the 4th, 2625 Frederica Street. Should be a great event down there, and I wanted to highlight that for them.
Really
I missed that on Friday.
Well, they get crazy around those tailgates.
Oh, man. man, yeah,
they're so much fun though.
And impromptu guests coming up. You know, you have I can try to make a show rundown. Of course, I didn't this week, so it made it even a little more chaotic. But no, big thanks to Elite Auto Glass for coming on board for our tailgate show this past week, and it didn't go the way of the Red Devils. Let's start there. Let's start with the Owensboro Red Devils because that's where we were at on Friday night. And you know, we kind of thought, okay, a little bit of a speed bump week one, obviously with the great program in St. X. You still have another great program in Cal, but at least it's at Rash. These guys are going to respond. And
I mean, I said on the show I thought they would play well. You know, where Catholic goes and beats Bowling Green, and so you kind of got upstaged on a big state win, and now you didn't play well at St. X. You got Cal coming in, another top 10 team in the KSR, you know, top 25, and I was expecting them to, you know, to be more like last year's game where they were in that game the whole time with chances to win, didn't get it done, and I was completely wrong.
Yeah, and I can't quite put my finger on, I guess. You know, I talked about this out at Reed Stadium on Friday night. Every year we gloss over it early, like, and then it comes about, and we're like, oh, that's right. Games are won in the trenches. They are actually at all levels. Mm-hmm. You know, you can go out to ODC YFL, you can go to a high school game, college game, NFL. Every level, the games are won in the trenches, and right now, and we knew that going into the season that the Red Devils would have some serious question marks on the offensive line, and it is just really wrecked. I feel like the offense. I mean, that way under 20 total yards of offense or something like that.
Yeah, I think officially, I think it was a little more. I know unofficially, we got the note from Dan. It was like once we're at 23 total yards for the game, and I was like, you know, Mark Higgs, you know, he ran 23 yards, you know, 47 times a game without a shoe on half the time. But I think what the total, total number of yards, 20. Minus 5 yards total rushing, 25 yards total passing. And listen, Owensboro's been playing at the, what do we say? Owensboro's been playing at the Rash Stadium site for 100 years. That's the worst offensive game Owensboro's ever had. Yeah, you can go back to 1901 or whatever, and they still had more yards than 20 yards. Back when they were not even wearing helmets, and it was nobody knew what a forward pass was. It was the worst offensive performance in the history of Owensboro High School.
So I mean, we could pin that whole thing on the offensive line, but
no, there's more than that.
To me, it goes a lot deeper than that because you have playmakers everywhere. I mean, you know, you would think this would be a very explosive offense. Now, granted, you have played two really good programs out of the gate. But you're not even in the ballpark.
No,
that's the part that is concerning. I feel like.
And I mean, here, you know, talking to Dan and Dan, you know, he'll tell it like it is. He said, you know, there were just so many times where nobody was on the same page. Like D. Mark Jr. would audible to something that they saw, or they would change the play, and not everybody was running the same play. You know, there were a couple times where they changed the play. You know, you look over, you get a play change or whatever. They change the play. He hits the hot receiver, and the hot receiver's blocking, and the ball hits him in the back. Like, you know, that can't happen.
No.
And especially, I mean, that can't happen anytime. But when you're going to play somebody like Cal or St. X, if the entire offense is out there and you got 11 guys on 11 different pages, that's how you have 20 yards of total offense.
Yeah, it's tough. You're putting your defense in a really tough – and the defense, I feel like, has – battled, but I mean, you're up against it when you can't pick up a first down. You know? So very, very difficult. You have, you know, Evan Hampton ranked right there. A lot of people have him ranked as the number one prospect in the state. You just can't find a way to get him going. And you got Davis County coming up this week. It's a game we'll talk about through the week. But I'm telling you right now, if you're going in there and you're thinking, okay, this is the get right game, we're just going to roll through Davis County because they're down. You better. I mean, you have to get it right.
Hey, Davis County's front, the offense and defensive line played well against Catholic. But you're talking about Evan Hampton. Talking about a guy that you're talking about going to Vanderbilt. He's in the top 2 or 3, you know, recruits in the state of Kentucky by ever. You know, depending on which one you look at, he's 1, 2, or 3. Talking about 22 carries for 56 yards on the year.
Yeah, and I mean, it's tough. I mean, but you just got to find ways to get, and like I said, you got to get creative and find ways to get him. I thought, you know, drawing back to Davis County, they had a hard time getting the ball to Jace Hunt, you know, in the first half. And they went in, they made adjustments. They put him in the back, and designed ways to get him the football, and it just hasn't worked out right now for Evan or that entire offense. And I just don't know I can't put my finger on what it is. I don't, behind it's the same, coaching staff outside of DeMarcus coming in, and he's one guy. So it's not, you can't hang it all on one guy. There's so much negativity, man. People just feed on negativity. When things are going bad, the trolls come out, and then they all know better, right? Well, I mean, DeMarcus has been around football for quite some time. I mean, this is a more than one person problem. This is a group problem for the Red Devils right now. And you come in, I mean, it is trial by fire. DeMarc comes in, boom, you get all these big time scrimmages. You get Mayfield in there, you get South Warren in there, then you go right into the season at St. X, and then Cal with one of the best coaching staffs in the state. But the thing about Owensboro is there's just that's what you sign up for when you sign up for that job. This is one of the more high profile jobs I feel like in the state of Kentucky, and right now you're reeling. So how do you get this thing back on track? I mean, for me, it's got to be, we got to simplify this down to the absolute basics and use the athleticism that we have, kind of lean on that defense, but the offense has got to sustain some drives. When your offense is on the field all night long, defense on the field all night long, I don't care who you're playing, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and it comes down to that offense and defensive fronts. I mean, that offensive line has got to get together and decide this is not happening any longer. We've got to play better, whatever it may be. Because I don't care how good, DeMarcus Getaway Jr. is going to be at the quarterback. I don't care how good, Evan Hampton is at the running back. We know how good
Evan Hampton is.
I don't care about Dillard and more. It doesn't matter. You can't block up front. You got no shot. And, I mean, listen, and I think there was a lot of people that looked at it and said, okay, hey, Owensboro could be 1-3 again. You look at that, and it already counted Davis County as a win. When you've played as bad as you've played the first two games, and you look at what Davis County does, and I know they ended up getting beat like 34-2 against Owensboro Catholic. You were there. That game was very competitive. I mean, they played hard, and they competed up front. And even I talked to a couple of Calachi guys, and they're like, man, I mean, their offensive line and defensive line played hard and played well. I mean, got to put the Devils on some. I'll be interested. You got to straighten it out, or it could really run off the rails here. Yeah. I mean, you go into Davis County and you lose that game.
Well, the number one thing you got to do is stay together.
Yes.
I mean, you listen. I'm gonna say the same thing here in a second about Apollo. You're 0-2. You got your teeth kicked in.
Mm-hmm. Both times.
Both teams, really.
They didn't get
Apollo competed better offensively.
Defensively against Murray, they've been destroyed both games.
But for both teams, right? I mean, your ultimate goal is still there on the table.
100%.
That's the thing. So you have to stay together.
And the ultimate goal in 5A is on the table. Look at 5A across the state. Cooper's 0-2. Bowling Green's 0-2. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you want to compete well, right? You want to show the state, hey, we are here. We have arrived. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, the bottom line is if you go win your district and you make a run in the playoffs, not one person's going to remember the tough start.
Nope.
I mean, it's all going to be down the stretch. So I think that's got to be the message for Owensboro is, hey, the district title's still on the table, a playoff run still on the table.
But
a state title is still on the table.
Here's the thing: you got to get better because you have to go to Graves, tough place to play. Madisonville, very good with high tire, like.
But it's on the table.
It is on the table, but you can't play the way you are right now.
You just have to stay. You have to know, like. This isn't an 0-2, our season's over. This isn't like you started 0-2 in college football and your season's over.
Right.
This is everything we want. Our goals are still on the table. We have to keep the team together.
Ask Notre Dame last year when they lost to Northern Illinois, and everybody's like, season's 100%. Over. No, they got together, they got tougher, and won out the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's the product is going to be interesting to see. Friday night, it's going to be interesting. Because it's not been a good product so far.
No, it has not.
And you're playing a team that you have a distinct talent. No disrespect to Davis County. There is a distinct talent advantage. How is that going to look, though? Because Davis County gets after it. I'm telling you right now, they were very impressive on Friday, and we'll talk about them after the break. I wanted to move it to Apollo, who, in hindsight, I kind of wish that I had not have made the rah-rah speech on Friday because – what I didn't understand is how good Heritage Hill. I mean, I knew they were good. They're state champs. Listen, they have Jet Goldsberry, Tyler Ruxer. I know they're good, but they're a whole other stratosphere of good, like on a level of where I think this team could go win a 4A state title. I would not be shocked if they're not back in Indy again. Now,
I would not be shocked if it's just Chittard versus Harris. I will say this. They're not the deepest team in the world. They literally showed they got like 30 guys on the sideline. The offensive line's great. The jungle is an amazing. Listen, it is the best atmosphere in the ESPN Owensboro area.
We wanted to test
and it's
it, right?
not close.
Oh,
it's
man.
not even close.
Well, it helps to have a state title team that you're cheering for too.
No, but they packed that play like.
That's no disrespect.
Think about the whole sides are packed, and then on both end zones it looks like Tell City where there's 15 or 20 deep in
That's
chairs.
the way it should be, man. Yeah.
And they were in tremendous. But I will say, the start that Apollo got off to where, once again, you give up the early touchdown on the first drive. They get a nice punt return. They start at like the Apollo 34, 3 plays later, Goldsberry takes it in. You get the ball back. You've got a big 3rd and 5. You hit a big pass, and all of a sudden now you got the ball at like the 47, and you look out there and there's a flag on the field because there's an illegal man downfield who had no business being downfield. And so now you wiped off that first down where you think you've got some stuff going. Now you make it 3rd and 12 or whatever it was. Then you hit a big back shoulder pass. The receiver just should have caught it, didn't catch it, drops it. And now you're punting again. And then 3 plays later, now it's 14-0. And then the final, he got to 22-0, and Apollo made a really nice drive all the way down the field. Got it I think it was like 1st and 10 from the 12. And they get it to and it was like they get it to the 5, and they got like 2nd and 3, and they run a play. And no offense, Max missed the open receiver. They got Milburn out of the backfield that nobody covered, going to the front pylon, but he looks to his right, doesn't see Milburn there. They don't get it on 3rd down. They go for it on 4th down, don't make it. So you turn the ball over to the 5. It could have made it. If you score there, it's 22-7. Could be a
still
game.
Alive, yeah.
Right. 1st and 10, Heritage Hills from their own 5. 2 plays later, you get a 16-yard run and an 84-yard touchdown pass, and then the band is playing and the game's over.
Yeah, the Apollo defense certainly has questions to answer. I mean, it's been rough the first 2 weeks.
Listen,
now, granted, you're playing an absolute just juggernaut offense.
Yeah, and tip your cap to Tyler Ruxer. There were times where Badger guarded Tyler Ruxer as well as you could guard a man. But Tyler Ruxer's 6'4", 220, and Badger's 5'9".
Kind of reminds me of the...
and he just used his body and blocked him out.
Kind of reminds me of the Owensboro Frederick Douglass game.
Yes, with Dane Key.
Yeah, with Key. Where I can't remember the kid's name that was guarding him, but
he was like 5'6". Yeah,
he was just outside. He was perfect position. He just physically couldn't do it. But
your boy Winchell went for 145 and a touchdown. Listen, they're not the deepest team in the world, but they fly around, they hit you, and that front 5 on their offensive line. It may be them and Catholic are by far and away the 2 best, and it's not. They're probably the best with Catholic at number 2. I do think the Heritage Hills Catholic game would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I expected Apollo to score more. I guess maybe score with them, but like you said, little self-inflicted wounds kind of add up, but I feel like the game that's basically throwing them on the fire on Friday like I did. Maybe in hindsight, okay, that you're throwing them on the fire. It'd be like throwing Owensboro on the fire against St. X or or against Cal. I'm not quite going to take it to that level, but moving forward, I mean, same thing. I mean, you can't let this snowball. You're 0-2.
You've got to find some answers defensively.
Defensively, you've got, and I think they will. Coach Edge will get that straightened out. I do believe that, and I think that offense will start to hum along, but. And again, it becomes that thing where it's like you got to stay together. You have to believe in yourselves. Listen, Apollo, they're 0-2. They're reeling. They just got smacked. I mean, you're looking at that.
And you wake up and you get Catholic this week.
We're going out there at Reed, and Chris pulls up score stream. It's literally like 5 minutes into the first quarter. It's 27-0, I think it was.
It was pretty fast.
Literally first check, it was like they were down 27-0. So he's like, okay, you got smacked. But look. You have to be looking around and thinking, Graves got smacked around. They've been smacked around. Look where Owensboro's at, okay? Marshall County has not looked good. Muhlenberg County is 2-0, but they're doing it against way lesser of competition.
Correct.
And then, who's the other one? Who am I missing? There's another
Madisonville.
Madisonville has looked good. Hightower has looked like a Mr. Football candidate. But you have to be thinking, if we can get this straightened out, we just straighten the kinks out, everything we want is on the table. You could still win this district where you're sitting.
100%. And to me, it all starts with fixing things on the defensive side. You played Murray. You gave up 465 yards of total offense in that Murray game, where it was like 235 on the ground, 230 in the air. Like you couldn't even,
right.
Listen, if you can't stop either, and you got to play it both ways.
Well, I'm not going to make excuses for them, but Murray and Heritage Hills both. Of course, Heritage Hills is a completely different stratosphere than Murray.
Yeah, they had 450 yards in the first half.
Both of those units brought their collective guys back from a year ago. Apollo is turning the page from some very good. Jamison Brown and Tavis Walker was big time in that defense.
But I've expected more out of the Apollo secondary. And, where they've gotten beat deep a couple times.
You've seen it. I haven't seen it.
And that's where I've been, you look at you give up the 84-yard bomb, to Heritage Hills. Ruxer hits a couple bombs. And I know you want to play one-on-one, but at some point you got to look and say, hey, we have nobody to match up with Ruxer. We may have to put two guys on him. The big bomb up the middle to Thayer. Oh, I can't remember the Kohler, I think was his name.
Toller had a monster game.
The 84-yard, both of them. Well, the 84-yard, you get the wide receiver. He gets zeroed in one-on-one with Milburn running down the middle of the field. That may not be the matchup I want. Murray did the same thing with Martin. They got Martin down the middle of the field with the middle linebacker guarding him.
Yeah,
one-on-one, like that kind of those are mismatches that are not going to be not going to be handled well.
I tend to believe that Coach Edge will make some adjustments defensively. I think that's kind of his calling card a little bit. So, and you can lean on and Max. It just puts so much pressure on Max
100%
in the offense,
and not just
because you got to be perfect.
Any drop pass, like because they're going to go down and score, or we can't stop them. And I want to listen, Tyler Ruxer, you give him a year to Oklahoma to put on the weight to play tight end, unreal. The unsung hero, and then even Blakenbaker called this kid out. Wesleyan, if you're listening, Coach Young, Carter Payne, the kicker over there. Dude, first of all, he gets up and like half of his kickoffs go through the goalpost for a field goal. Like the kid's got an absolute howitzer. Then he gets up and bombs a 44-yard punt that goes straight up in the air like 6 minutes of hang time. Somebody sign this kid.
That's what separates from our area, right? I mean,
the good teams, yes.
When you look back at the past, the Bowling Greens and the South Warrens, the teams that we've seen, just the discrepancy in their special teams play.
Punter and kicker.
Oh, it's field position. Anytime and Catholics kind of use that as a weapon early. They've got a great kicker in Garvin. It's a huge weapon. It is a massive weapon to have.
I mean, you look at they jumped up 22-0, like literally the first 5 minutes into the game. Apollo started on their own 20 every drive because he's booting it through the end zone. And all three of those first drives after a short punt, one was a low line drive caught on the run. All three of Heritage Hills drives that they start in the first quarter that they score on, they're starting inside Apollo's 40. Like, that's a huge discrepancy.
Yep,
and then when you do finally stop them and Payne gets out there, he beats a 45-yarder with 8 minutes of hang time.
Yeah, again, Goldsberry, 7 total touchdowns, 342 all-purpose yards. Winchell, 141 yards rushing and touchdown. Toller and Ruxer both two touchdowns each.
Toller had 2 catches for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And I don't suspect, listen, I don't want to pour cold water over our Owensboro Health top 10, but I'm not sure they get out of that one spot. I don't think this team ain't losing the regular season.
Probably not.
Just write that down. They ain't losing.
And I'm not sure Catholic does either. Who knows? I mean, they're playing really well too.
I agree. 100%.
I will say Catholic Owensboro is Owensboro. And you also look at Bardstown and E-Town.
E-Town coming off a big win this week.
Well, Bardstown, too, I think is 1-1 and played really well. But those 3 games are better than probably any regular season game that Heritage Hills has other than Gibson Southern.
Yeah, Gibson Southern would be a good one.
I don't think they even play Southridge this year. I think it's just Gibson Southern. So
I don't know that it matters.
No, they're going to be a 22, 24-point favorite in every game they play but Gibson Southern. I will say this, Lane Kiffin, I know you love him at safety, and he will flat lay the lumber. Don't give up on Jack Goldsberry as a quarterback. It was impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad you got to see him play, man. We've been talking about him from a distance for quite some time, and he is the real deal.
We'll be going back.
Coach Wilkerson just runs a great program. That's
just
all there is to it. I mean, to add them into our coverage area has been adding an elite program into the Owensboro Health Top 10. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about all the rest of the scores. We got some more apologies to dish out as we roll through the program. We'll pause it for Karen Gross, realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission, 270-315-9810, or you can find her at karengross.net. Happy Labor Day, live at 5, 1027 The Game.
Hi, this is Travis Holtree from Foreman Watson Holtree. You know, we will not allow anyone to deter us from what we are committed to. We're committed to standing.
Foreman Watson Holtree. Dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
Your home for ESPN Radio. Unsportsmanlike delivers the passion every true sports fan craves. Brought to you by Floor Concepts, where design meets durability. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings, 5 to 8, only on 1027 The Game.
Sports Country is celebrating 10 years. In the last 10 years, we've seen the rise of social media, a pandemic, and in sports, we saw the rise of new rivalries, the creation of the transfer portal. For Sports Country, they saw a location change in Owensboro and the addition of a second location in Bowling Green. Sports Country says thank you for supporting them for 10 years as they celebrate all month long. Sports Country, 317 Park Plaza Drive, behind Shammy's Car Wash, Owensboro's #1 sports fan store. Search for them on Facebook for events and specials.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Backed by popular demand, Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice is here. If John has built your pool or spa in the past and it needs service, repairs, or just a little attention, he's ready to take care of you. He'd love to hear from his former customers, and if you're new, now is the perfect time to see why his work is legendary. Call Legendary Pools and Spas by John Maurice at 270-316-1007. Reconnecting with customers, one pool at a time.
Hi, it's Duke Brubaker with Champion Ford in Owensboro. The Ford Summer Sales Event is going on now, and 0% APR is back with available 0% on new 2025 Ford Mustang, Escape, Explorer, and F-150. Plus, Ford is offering $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2-year, 25,000-mile premium maintenance included. Ford also announced super low lease specials on most new 2025 Ford vehicles, including Bronco and Bronco Sport. Stop by Champion today or shop in your jammies online at championowensboro.com.
Accidents and ailments can happen when you least expect them, but Owensboro Health is here to care for you when and where you need it. Walk right in for excellent urgent care without an appointment, or use our MyChart app to tell us you're on your way. Our expert providers are ready to treat minor cuts, rashes, bites, respiratory infections, and so much more. To find one of our 5 urgent care locations near you, visit owensborohealth.org/urgent care.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios. Let's jump back into this high school scoreboard and go out to Davis County, where we were kind of talked about it a little bit. Owensboro Catholic takes down the Panthers 34-2. But, man, Davis County made Catholic work for everything they got in the ball game. I mean, I was impressed. We'll start with Owensboro Catholic and then get to Davis County. Carruthers is 20 of 36, 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. But I would caution anybody that doesn't watch the games to just jump on KHSAA and see a completion percentage from Carruthers that's not glowing, because about half of those incompletions are drops.
Yeah, this was a game I thought Catholic, you come out, I was worried a little bit. Early in the year when I talked to him after the scrimmage games, ran into Coach Morris a couple of times. There were some times where they dropped some balls and some 7-on-7s, and he wasn't happy. And but I also think that, you get that monster win.
Yeah.
It's talked about to the state, and maybe you just lack a little focus. They'll be fine. But for them to get to where they want to go, the receivers have got to play more like they did against Bowling Green, because 2A.
I think it was just focus.
Right. 2A with Beechwood, Belfry, LCA, who played Boyle, to a one touchdown game. Boyle had to score late to win that one. 2A is loaded at the top.
It is. No, it certainly is. And, one thing that stays the same is Miles Edge. 97 rushing yards, 72 receiving. He got in the end zone 3 times. I was really impressed by the special teams. It was a problem down in Bowling Green.
It was a disaster.
Well, Harville stepped in as the punt returner. I thought he did an excellent job. And then Garvin hammers through a couple of big field goals in the game. So that was the fix. Good to see Barrett Evans back out there.
Yep.
And I thought putting Barrett out there with Conkright on the other side, they forgot about dude Reese Sims, because he kind of balled out. We called his number quite a bit throughout the evening.
It's pretty funny, too. Barrett plays one game, gets 2 sacks.
Yeah. And he almost had 3.
I was going to say, he had 3 tackles and 2 sacks.
He had the pressure on Barker, and Barker had to get it out of there. And Barrett, maybe he hit him after a couple steps and threw the interception, but he was bearing down. You could tell he was just amped up to be back out there. And, for Catholic, it's just – maybe, I'm sure Coach Morris will hear it on Wednesday. He's going to want the team to be a lot more sharp. But you're coming, like I say, it was a prime, perfect storm for a letdown game, and it was 34-2. So in the 2, to be clear, the 2. That was.
I've kind of heard that people have been asking me, I'm not sure how they got a safety on the play. I don't know how, so there you
go. Big thanks to the folks at Davis County for letting us know what intentional grounding is, because they let Nick know. He was,
okay.
He didn't know the rules, is what we were. But thank goodness we had some clarification.
All
on
right,
that.
there you go.
So they did get the 2, but man, on the serious side of things, I will say, when you say it should have been 34-0. People are going to hear it and they're going to say, "Man, what is he talking about? Why are they talking up Davis County?" Well, I feel like they made Catholic earn it. Number one, nothing came easy. Catholic controlled the line of scrimmage more against Bowling Green than they did against Davis County. So I thought that was a win. Just the overall game plan, and you could see Davis County was trying to take advantage of some things that they saw Bowling Green do. The zone read with Barker. I tell you, the Barker kid's got a little something to him.
He does.
The keep, he's got some athleticism. He made some nice throws throughout the game. He threw a couple picks under heavy pressure. But
it's all about, I know, like you said, it's 34-2. But when you watched this team play last year, and just the, where you're starting basically every drive for some reason, every time you go out there, it's 1st and 15, 1st and 20, because you've had 2 delayed games and a false start. The organization is just so much better, and how hard they play.
Yeah, yes. The players have played really hard for Q Wallace. And there was still some penalties. And I will say that. Davis County really shot themselves in the foot keeping some drives alive. But overall, I think Davis County is a team that's going to be closer to their ceiling that we talked about than the floor that we discussed. So we'll see moving forward. It's a big one this week as they take on Owensboro. Catholic, of course, with Apollo. Should be 2 tremendous city-county games coming up this week. I wanted to move it over now and talk a little bit about Hancock County as they take down Breckenridge 34-12. This game was a little bit closer throughout than I kind of thought it would be. So hats off to Breck on bouncing back after a tough loss in week 1. But Brady Eubanks, man,
it's also a great start.
He had a lot of hype coming in, and I knew he would be good. He's a coach's kid. But, he's kind of exceeding expectations early on for me. 4 touchdowns in the game, and Hancock's rolling right along, man.
Well, I think that gives him, 10 on the year? Because didn't he throw for 2 and run for 4 in the first game, too, and then 4 in this one? So, yeah, and I think Hancock is kind of what we thought they would be in this, right now. It was a nice bounce-back win from McLean that we talked about on Friday Night Lights Out, but I would still right now pencil in Hancock as the number 2 in that district, when we'll see when they play later on down the year.
A lot of football left to be played on the scoreboard. Forest Park took down Perry Central. A little concerned about the Commodores. We talked about that on Friday. Numbers are down a little bit, but we'll see. Last year they started slow as well, then finished real strong. A little concerned about South Spencer as well, as Edgewood takes them down big over there. We got on the Kentucky scoreboard, North Hardin takes down Meade. Of course, the quarterback situation still in flux there for the Wave. And then the surprise of the night, if I were to rewind time back to the LA5, you told me to pick 2 teams to put on upset alert. Well, I was deadly wrong about one. But then I tried to sneak another one in there, and you just dismissed me. Anderson County all over Grayson County. Is that concerning?
Hold on. No, it's concerning this way. I mean, the difference of this game is it completely changed. It's 7-7 in the first quarter, and Grayson's playing well. And then Caden Hanshaw goes out.
Oh, say I didn't.
Yeah, Hanshaw goes out with an ankle injury. Now I've heard it was pretty severe. I've heard that. Now Grayson without Hanshaw. Oh yeah. No,
apologies.
Look at the score.
I didn't know that.
27-0 from there on out, and Grayson had no offense. And we talked about what do teams do if they all stack the line and take Hanshaw away. Well, he
might be the best defensive player too.
Right, and so that's the difference. That has that
fair.
Now, and I don't know. I've heard. I talked to Sam Gormley. He said he was still in a lot of pain and was probably really doubtful for Friday against McLean County. But if this is something that's lingering, Grayson's in trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely, anybody would be in trouble losing to Caden Hanshaw. He's an absolute animal. Wish him the best. Prayers out for a speedy recovery. Get back to the scoreboard. Muhlenberg County on a Saturday night special takes down Webster 42-12. First time since the Hunter football Combs era that the Mustangs are 2-0, I believe. I believe that. Don't check the stats, but I believe
that's right, too. And I'll say this. You look at the schedule, I've got them penciling in at 4-0.
I mean, they're certainly on track. I mean, Baskerville with 3 touchdowns. Wilkin threw for a couple, and then he ran for one as well. So Muhlenberg rolling right along. You move it over to, how about, to me, kind of the win of the night. Edmondson County takes down Clinton.
I thought that was one. I had it wrong. I had Clinton win that one. Edmondson, I thought played well.
I bought in after last season, and if it's close, if I'm kind of on the fence here, I'm going to roll with him in Edmondson County. Will Sailing with 2 touchdown receptions for the Wildcats. You had Muse and Deweese both got one, and then Orvis rushing touchdown for Edmondson. How about the defense in the fourth quarter to completely shut Clinton down? Clinton had a couple opportunities to score late, and Edmondson County gets the 1-1.
That was really surprising. It was the second most surprising thing that happened on Friday night, in my view.
The second most.
All
right.
You know what the most surprising was? Not that they won, even though I had West Washington because they seem to dominate down here.
Yeah.
Tell City wins. How about the quarterback, Lucas Byer, going 11 of 13 for over 100 yards? All of a sudden, if they've developed the forward pass, people are in trouble with Tell City.
What did I tell you in the opening segment the other day? I mean, marksmen are winning this game, but I was dead wrong. I didn't know it was going to be through the air.
He threw for 106, ran for 104, but he go 11 of 13. They hadn't thrown 13 passes since we've been covering them since COVID.
Coach Webb's getting crazy over there. I'll tell you what.
I mean, that's them throwing 13 games. No, they're running the Mouse Davis run and shoot.
Love it, man. That's great. Now, Tell City now moves to 2-0, which is good to see. The marksman rolling right along. I kept all the surprises for later. Tell City, not that it was a surprise, but how they did it there was a surprise. How about the score that just baffled me through the evening? Butler County and Ohio County. It was 7-7 going into the fourth quarter. And Ohio County goes for like their own 25-yard line, doesn't get it, and then the wheels kind of come off at that point. But Butler County Ohio County very competitive, lost 28-19.
Aiden Ferris had a big game. Had the highlight up there of him on the live stream. Aiden Ferris played really well.
Yeah, and see, week one, I thought, man, how good is Trigg? Or did Ohio just have a misstep?
No, I'll say this. I was talking to Coach Briggins as we were, driving up to Heritage Hills, up to Santa Claus, and he was talking about that. He's like, Trigg had 2 running backs that were unbelievable athletes that could play for anybody.
They're good.
And that's the way really they always, Trigg's always got an athlete or 2, but the problem is they had a big front line and a big run, 2 big-time running backs.
A lot of self-inflicted from them, but, if they can get it straightened out, they certainly have the players. But, yeah, I was impressed, Ohio County's performance, but Butler got it done, man. Richardson again, 171 and a touchdown.
How about 3 in a row now for Butler going back to last year?
How about that pickup I made the waiver wire? Robbins, 102 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Nice waiver wire addition.
It wasn't bad.
Last week, got it done. Robbins also led the way with 20 tackles in the game.
He's a tackling machine at middle linebacker.
Never came off the field, man, doing just a little bit of everything. But last thing is it's another apology because McLean County just absolutely destroys Caverna. And
Jalen called in on Friday Night Lights to make sure he let us know about it, which he should have.
I'm glad he did. And really the apology should go out to Coach Wagner and Coach Cook, though, because the body of work that they've built to be like, oh, their season's over. Week 1, they lost to Muhlenberg. Just pack it up. Let Coach Lynham roll the basketballs out. I mean, these guys have had some success.
They've had a lot of success.
What was to me, I look back at that and I'm like, why didn't you not trust them more to fix it? I mean, I should have known that it was coming. Well, Caverna's a 1A school. Now, granted, they have 2 elite running backs,
but no line. Twins. And then they talked about it.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if they have. I don't care if they don't have a line. They're elite. And I was a little worried about the tackling. Well, Stratton solved that. 16 tackles. They held them under 70 yards.
Do you know who else owes a massive apology? How about Jalen Darty for benching Jacoby Guild? He goes for 120 and 3.
Oh, yeah. He led the way. I had him for 145
Wait, maybe it was 140.
Yeah, they ran for 404 yards.
All I know is we talked about this on Friday Night Lights Out. I was like, how do you bet? I had Jacoby to give him heck. He was on the bench for Jalen Darty. Listen,
got to figure that out.
He scored more points than Jalen scored the whole first week, and it was sitting on his bench.
Sitting on his bench. That's not good, but good. It's good for the McLean County offense because you got Gill involved. Bolden got involved for 80 yards and a score. Stratton was in the end zone. Ward was in the end zone. So a good night for the McLean County Cougars, and that's good to see for the program who I don't know what really happened in week 1, and maybe Muhlenberg.
Is that good defensively?
And to give them credit. We saw them roll off the bus. Size, up front. You can't teach size, right?
And that'll be a big game of 2 teams looking to, who is the – which is the real team? McLean in week 1 or McLean versus Caverna? Grayson in week 1 or Grayson against Anderson playing this week in week 3
if they don't have
on 97X. If they don't have Hanshaw, then
I'm going to have to lean McLean.
I will go heavy McLean.
And even if they do have Hanshaw, it should be a really good game. Those games between those 2 teams the last couple of years have been really good. Jalen kind of nailed it. He came in the other day before we did Live at 5, was talking about Davis County and how they, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Russellville. I mean, there was a couple things that I thought he hit on that in hindsight, maybe I'm buying into a little bit.
There you go.
So Jalen gets an apology. The coaching staff gets an apology.
He may get fired from his fantasy team, though.
Well, we'll just roll over when we play him, and that's good because I need all the help I can get.
You already played him. You played him in week 1.
Yeah, it was a gift week 1. Yeah. I only scored like 70. Now, my team did respond this week.
But his only scored 29.
Chris said, though, there's only 2 people that care about my fantasy team, me and the person I'm playing.
Yes,
that's literally it. The radio audience.
But the high school fantasy is different. It's fun.
Yeah, as long as we recognize the kids. Not what I did. The kids did all the work.
Yeah.
I put the players in the, on the roster. They did all the work. When we come back, we'll issue a lot more. Harrison Bader, big double. We go up 7-6.
Look out. Philly's making a
big
run.
comeback on the Brewers here on Labor Day. When we come back, man, we're going to issue more apologies. Vic's got a lot of apologies.
In college football, he's got
to make him write a letter to Florida State apologizing after the way he buried them last week. Well, they're back because they beat Alabama.
Oh, no, they're not back. Alabama's just
They're back. We'll talk about it next Live at 5.
Feel the power of the road beneath you. Rick's Tire and Service can make it possible. Offering comprehensive car care from front-end repair and brake work to air conditioning and diagnostic services. We're more than just tires. Elevate your ride with our range of aftermarket accessories. Get those wheels, tires, level up with lift kits, sleep bumpers, bed covers, and running boards. Even lights, you bet. At Rick's, we customize your vehicle to reflect your style. Rick's Tire and Service, the place where we turn your car from basic to fantastic.
For over 35 years, Owensboro Garage Doors has been serving the tri-state area. We have exciting news. Our state-of-the-art showroom and design center is now open on Saturdays from 9 to noon. That's right. You can now visit us on Saturdays at 708 Breckenridge Street. Our team of experts are committed to providing exceptional designs and service. Owensboro Garage Door offers a wide variety of custom garage door options to ensure your garage door fits your unique needs and style. With the best service, parts, and prices, Owensboro Garage Doors will be your go-to for life.
Southwire in Hallsville has been family-owned since 1950 and strives to be generationally sustainable for years to come. They are one of the leading manufacturers of wire and cable used in the transmission and distribution of electricity. Southwire delivers power to millions of people around the world. Their mission to be a preferred provider of solutions to the electrical industry by providing innovative products and services with exceptional quality and delivering on our promises. They also are proud supporters of all Hancock County athletics. Go Hornets!
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time
focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Katie Gunterman.
Whether it's one item or 100, Pat Hayden Moving gets it there safely and stress-free. As a proud alumni of Owensboro Catholic, Pat Hayden Moving is honored to support the ACEs on the field, in the classroom, and throughout the community. Big move, small move. We've got your back. One item or 100, we'll move it for you. Call Pat Hayden Moving today and support a business that supports Owensboro Catholic. Local, loyal, on the move.
Fall is here, and so are the flavors you've been waiting for at the Creme Coffee House. Sip on seasonal favorites like the pumpkin cream cold brew, pecan pie latte, or the cozy campfire cold brew topped with toasted marshmallow cold foam. Pair it with a cinnamon caramel muffin or a warm apple blossom. And whether you're settling in or on the move, the Creme makes it easy with grab-and-go options like breakfast sandwiches, pastries, and now you can get their delicious brews canned as well. Celebrate the season at the Creme Coffee House, where every sip tastes like fall.
Get your exterior painting to-dos done easily with Dutch Boy Pristine Exterior Paint. With its rain rinse technology, rain naturally washes away dirt and grime. Plus, it resists cracking and peeling, making it perfect to withstand the harshest weather conditions. Save big money on Pristine Exterior Paint and start your painting project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Stephen A. Turner, Vic Evans here in the Floor Concept Studios, joined by Bradley Payne for the final. Getting ready for some Beyond the Bench live tonight.
Yeah. He's the face of the live stream. I mean, that's all we've gotten on the Green River Area Federal Credit text line.
I'm the red face.
Yeah, you look a little red.
You've been out
softballing.
You muted your mic.
No,
you're good here. Okay, can you hear?
No.
You good? Oh no, you can't hear it all.
You can't hear it all.
That's all about.
No. That's all right.
Make sure you.
I mean,
plug
I'm so used to it.
Yeah, 4's in there.
Oh,
there we go.
There you go. You didn't get it all the way in there.
That sounds like what happened at the beginning of the show. But hey, it's Labor Day. We're just getting along. I mean, you've been out in the sun a little bit. I see.
A little. It was enjoyable though.
Yeah.
3 days in Georgetown, Kentucky.
Is that like 3 days in like Boonville?
It could have went sideways, but we won.
I'm glad you made it out safe.
Yeah, we won. That's all that matters.
I'll give a shout out to Bernie's, man.
Oh my
for
gosh.
Saturday, the big event, they raised a lot of money for the American Legion.
Over $1,000. They had their cornhole tournament.
Nice.
And they gave he went out and he got like door prizes. We gave some tickets, Thunderbolts and Preds and things, Louisville. And they had those things as a raffle, and they raised over $1,000 for American Legion Post 9.
Nice.
Well, we got to get to college football.
I'm ready for
We
it.
got 1 minute per game. We got 7 games.
You want me to start with
7 minutes, and we're starting with Kentucky.
Okay.
They're back. Kentucky's back, everybody.
Yeah, it's like 1944. We're not really sure what a forward pass is,
They're
but
back.
there you go.
They won 24-16. They did not cover. So
No.
I was wrong on that.
Covered the late line, or covered the early line. Just didn't if you got it in early enough.
Yeah, because the early was like 7.5.
Mm-hmm. I was 9.
It was so weird. It came all the way down for no
Came to
reason.
6.5.
Went back up to no reason. So it depends on where you got it.
Yeah.
But listen, I mean, Ole Miss is going to beat the dog.
It's only 9.5.
Well, it started at 10, opened at 10.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, they have a quarterback issue. So
They do.
there's that. No wonder it's a competition, though, like right up to the wire.
yeah. I wondered what was all going on.
If he stinks this week, man, you just got to go with Boley. I mean, you have to. I mean, I know overreaction early. I hate early season overreactions. But, I mean, you got to just go with the guy.
Due for 80 yards.
I mean, you got to have to go with a younger guy who is – this guy's he's like 70 years old, man. He's like older than Brandon
I will
Wheaton.
say this. It fits Stoops to a T because Stoops he wants Kentucky to be the Iowa of the SEC, and Iowa doesn't know what a forward pass is. Evidently, UK doesn't either.
Well, I'm not going to pile on them yet. We'll wait for them to get beat by Ole Miss. So, they usually play Ole Miss well. We'll see how it goes. We got to move on. Louisville obviously handles business as they should against EKU, but Moss with 2 picks. Any concern?
Too many turnovers, too many penalties. That's a bad sign. I don't like teams that turn it over and get penalties.
Yeah. You don't win that way.
It's week one, and it's EKU, but 7 penalties against EKU is unacceptable. So I don't know yet.
I feel like it's kind of the jury out on it.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Well, you're not going to find out anything to them until about week 4. I mean, you got James Madison this week on.
Here in about 15 minutes, all we're going to hear about is Moss because Briggins thinks that he's
I know.
Joe Namath.
I know.
2 picks though.
One was not his fault.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's jury's out. Let's go Western Kentucky. They hammer North Alabama 55-6. Man, their quarterback's the real deal.
He always is. I mean, Helton knows what he's doing down there. I think he is the under the radar next UK coach.
He is.
Wow,
that's a hot take.
What a call there.
I'm just telling
Everybody's
you.
just telling you it's Summerall. So I mean,
Summerall's probably going to end up at Auburn or another big Arkansas
bigger opportunity. Man, that's an interesting. I mean,
very interesting.
Will Western beat Toledo worse than Kentucky did?
Yes.
That's who they play this week.
I know.
That's going to be interesting. Nice little measure.
Toledo's not bad.
No, they aren't.
No, I mean,
I like Western in this one, though.
Where's it
roll?
Where's it
I think it's at Toledo.
I think it's at Toledo, yeah. Oh. Brad's saying not so fast.
Yeah. Whoa, that's going to be on Beyond the Bench. You can find out which way you're going to go.
Corso, like nailing it on
6 of 6.
Saturday. I mean,
how about this? It was the most watched college football game day, ESPN game day ever.
That's pretty
cool. And he went 6 for 6, and he picked every team he coached also won.
Let me ask you this: are you still tanking for Arch?
No, a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, he was not good.
I mean, look, this poor kid has so much on his
crazy.
shoulders,
It's
man.
nuts.
Like this dude's like he's like everybody thinks he's going to be Peyton, and it's like, man, I mean, that's just not fair to the kid. I mean, number one, you're going into Ohio State.
Yeah, your first start.
He still threw some, he still at times showed flashes of the player that people are talking about, but I just hate when people start getting anointed.
Can I put
for no reason?
I want to say I put some of this on Sark and like I talk about Denbrock. Like I don't think they put him in good positions.
It was
in that game. It was so conservative. And just like with CJ Carr, you allowed Miami to come down and play 11 guys in the box trying to throw 2-yard bubble screens all day. At some point, you got to let them stretch the field.
Is Ohio State going back to back?
No.
They're really good.
I think they may.
I don't think so.
What about LSU? Before we get to Miami and Notre Dame, LSU beats Clemson.
It's a big
I'll tell you
win.
what, man. Brian Kelly just did everything he could
to lose,
to give that game away late. LSU in the second half was obviously the better team. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I mean, they're 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Brian Kelly did like what
he kept that
Mario
close.
Cristobal did and got to let Notre Dame in there. And that's what will keep LSU and Miami from winning a national title is the 2 coaches.
Nussmeier's the one you should be tanking for.
He's pretty nice.
I think he's a good
He's a kid from Penn State.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be a combine hero.
Oh yeah,
mark my word. They're gonna love his arm,
and he's gonna be a terrible NFL guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember they talked about him coming out last year, and then he laid the egg in the playoffs. So, but Florida State, you say it's more Alabama than it was Florida State. I'm gonna disagree with you.
No, there's a little bit of mix of
Listen,
both.
Alabama, the culture that Nick Saban has built at Alabama is completely dead. Okay, and DeBoer's a nice coach. He's in way over his head there. He will be on the hot seat, and I'm not going to believe what Dave said. Kalen DeBoer will be fired at the end of this year and will no longer be the Alabama coach.
See, this new age of like, let's just fire this guy. It's like nobody's Nick Saban. Go get one. Go find one.
I think you should have a statue for following Nick Saban.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're that brave,
I felt bad for him. I mean, I know he's getting paid, so I shouldn't feel that bad for him.
Yeah.
He's getting paid pretty well, but man, I mean, it's so hard to follow. That was a bad loss.
Look at
the
highlights of guys that just like absolutely zero hustle and like
culture's different,
everything,
for sure.
and you got the alumni going down the nuts.
What do you do if you're Alabama? I mean,
well, you got to let him finish the year, but
I mean. That's the thing. It's week 1, and we're talking about, I heard them talking about his buyout yesterday, and I'm like, golly, like, give the dude
Hold on. Nick Saban coached 250 games at Alabama. He lost 4 times to unranked teams.
Okay, it's Nick Saban.
Hold on. Caleb DeBoer is 1 year and 1 game in, and that was his 4th loss to unranked teams. You've lost
Nick
to
Saban
Vanderbilt.
is not out there, though.
No, but I mean,
Nick Saban's the greatest coach of all time in college football.
Are you telling me you can't go out and get somebody that doesn't lose to Vanderbilt and doesn't lose to Florida State and doesn't lose to a terrible Oklahoma team last year? Alabama's
There's
not going to
only
put
one
up with
guy.
that.
The only one guy comes to mind, Kirby Smart. That's other than that. I mean, everybody's susceptible. I mean, there's not a coach out there that's Superman that's going to walk to the door and be Nick Saban too.
Recruiting has changed too.
Yes.
Yeah. Right when that happened.
Yeah, Saban bounced.
Yeah.
Before he
guys aren't
figured
dumb.
it out.
No,
right?
he's smart.
Yeah.
I do wonder if he's coming back though.
No,
I don't
Saban.
think so.
No, I think he's enjoying his time on game day.
That
I
would
think
be
he's like a Jay Wright.
I'd be interested
I don't
to
think
see if
you
he
can
could.
get Jay Wright to be on the sideline again.
No, I don't think
Those
for
guys,
no amount of money.
those guys don't want to have to go and recruit guys that are on their team and play and they keep freshmen happy so they don't trade.
No, I agree.
They're not going to do that.
I wondered about Tony Bennett the same way too. I know we don't have any time, but Tony Bennett to me needs to be coaching again in basketball.
Is Florida State a contender in the ACC?
Oh, in the ACC,
In the ACC, yeah.
Casty, I thought he played pretty well at
I don't understand
quarterback.
why they were unranked.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
went
just
2
last year
and
was
10
so
last year.
bad.
Again,
It's a whole new team, 100%. It's
like
a
no
whole
one
different
cares.
team.
Like when everybody's like, well, they're this and this away.
Carson Beck was solid. I didn't believe that would happen. He was
Had a hard time
solid.
believing that myself.
Listen, Miami was the better team. They were the better. I watched the game. They dominated. They should have won the game by more. They should have won
And
the game.
I really put this on Denbrock's feet because I thought he coached it. I thought he called a terrible game.
Well, if you're
and ga-
Marcus
and did
Freeman,
not
you
give.
got to find a way to get the ball to Love.
Yeah, I
more
mean,
early.
he's the best back in the country. He had 3 carries going into the 3 touches going into the fourth quarter.
They'll figure it out.
They
It was
will.
good last year, week 1.
It's a tough loss. Classic Notre Dame, though. This game they should have
Hey,
won
you
on
lose by
paper.
3 on the road, a top 10 team, you'll be fine come playoff time.
Beyond the Bench is next. Don't forget Top 10 Tuesday tomorrow live at 5.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 102.7 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Hultree for sponsoring the proceeding.